So this morning was a fucking bust. I am back at it. It is 2:42. I'm at the car wash. I just washed the car. Since I have the monthly subscription, I can come up to 3 times a day. But I usually come through here once a day. And I get the car wash on the outside, and then I vacuum because I always need to vacuum. And then I wipe everything down and I spray it down and make it smell good, because most of the time, the first comments people make when they get in the car is how good it smells, how nice and clean it is, and they seem to really appreciate that. Usually the Premier people, Uber people really, it's whatever. Um, but the Premier people really seem to appreciate that, and I do believe it contributes to the tips. Um, so since this morning was a bust, I'm back at it. I'm going to see what I can do because I have this challenge that I need to meet to get this extra 235 plus 75 if I do $535 plus 90. So my goal is to get that done before Friday, because I have until Friday 4 a.m. So um, I'm anticipating that this week will be just like last week. There's a lot of conventions in town. There's two big conventions for cybersecurity, ironically, that are happening this week. I picked up a rider earlier from um, the airport who was coming in for that, and I asked him about the MGM debacle, and he said that he thinks that his company is going to be assisting them with that because they were having an emergency meeting regarding that once he got into his hotel. So, for those of you that may not know, MGM properties got hacked. Um, all their systems were shut down. If you went and you were there playing, you couldn't cash out. You had to wait until they come around and give you cash, which they haven't done that, for regular people. I mean, big time, you hit the jackpot or you hit something that's $1,500, they'll come, and pay you cash. However, if I had $50 in the machine and I couldn't cash out, I want my damn $50. So people were having to wait like 2, 3, 4 hours or the next day to get their change. So it was quite the issue. I think it started last Wednesday or Thursday. MGM Grand was almost like a ghost town on Thursday. So a lot of people that I had picked up over the weekend were saying that they had rooms at MGM or MGM properties, and they had to find another room because they couldn't get their reservations confirmed, or something. So it was just crazy. So I know MGM is just losing a lot of money. Apparently Caesar's Palace had the same issue, or Caesar's properties, and they paid a ransom of like $50 million or some crazy number. But of course, they didn't publicize that. Nobody knew about that until this shit happened with MGM. And I guess MGM said, I ain't got it. So they ain't pay it. So meanwhile, they losing, losing by the hour. So hopefully, with all these cybersecurity people in town, should be a few thousand of them. Let's see if they can figure it out. This guy thinks that it's probably an employee who clicked on a link, and you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to verify shit. Do not just open links. And I have to tell my son that all the time. You get something in your text message coming from the bank saying click on this because somebody made a purchase, or you need to click this link to verify the purchase. Do not click the link, because the bank it's not going to send it to you like that. It's going to come from your app. So yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully, this morning was horrible because of construction, It was just, it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. It was half of the strip going southbound was shut down to one lane. Um, the main arteries to get to from the middle of the strip to the airport were shut down for construction for this Formula One shit. Um, so I ended up only doing $90 in 4.5 hours. I started at 5:30 ish, maybe yeah, about 5:30 this morning. Had a really good ride. It was $27. But after I went back, like let me pull it up. After I went back and looked at the actual ride, it actually was a shit ride. However, it was okay because it took me to down south to the strip, south end of the strip, which is where I wanted to be because I knew the airport was going to be busy. So it ended up being like 16 miles. I had a $13 surge on top of that for that ride. And let's see. So this was this one. I had a $13 surge. The fare by itself was $13.32. So had I gotten this without a surge, I would have never taken the ride because it was 17 miles. What was it? Oh, it was 14 miles. Okay, I still wouldn't have taken it. So I got the $13 surge, plus I got my extra dollar for being for having an EV vehicle. So every dollar helps. So it ended up being 27.32. Then they take their 35 cents for their insurance, and so I got 26.97, which wasn't bad. So then I went and charged, which took me 25 minutes. And then my next ride, I was on this ride that the rider canceled. That was another 20 some dollar ride, and I had to maneuver to get over to get into the right lane so I could turn, and then motherfucker canceled. So I was mad about that. So then the next one was a $17 one for 4 miles. Initially, this ride was $9, and this was picking up from the MGM Signature to the airport. Unbeknownst to me, the road to the Signature was shut down for construction on all sides. So every side street that I dipped on to get there, I was met with a roadblock. So this ride ended up being 20 minutes long when it should have only been oh, actually, no, I'm sorry, that wasn't that ride. This ride, I picked these ladies up from the where was I at? Mirage. I picked them up from the Mirage, and they were going to the airport, but they put in Alaska Airlines, which is at Terminal 3, but they put Terminal 1. So I got increased fare because I went a little further, took a different driveway to get to Terminal 3. So the fare at the end of the day ended up being $17. So that wasn't bad because that was only 4 miles and 20 minutes. So that was before I knew that the roads were blocked as they were. So then the other rides I did, I then switched over to Lyft because Lyft was surging at the time. And so I was trying to multi-app because I seem to do better when I multi-app. So right now I'm at Starbucks, so we're going to pause so I can order my drink. I'm done charging. I'm at 95%, which gives me 202 miles. And effectively, if I drove the entire day all the way down at $2 a mile, I could be at $404. But I'm not going to do that because it shouldn't go all the way down to zero anyway. So while I was charging and I was looking at my earnings, Um, I thought that I did not work Lyft at all this week because Lyft has just been complete trash. Um, they screwed me out of a $9 streak. I believe that was on Monday. When I accepted the ride, it said that it was one of three, and I did my three rides. They were all shit rides for the $9 bonus, and when I got done, there was no bonus. When I contacted support, they claimed that I was not in the area, the designated area, which I know is false because it told me that this was ride one of three. So they pissed me off. So I decided not to work Lyft on Tuesday, which worked out good because I ended up uh, having a $400 night on Uber. So all week, the rest of the week, I didn't do anything on Lyft, and I went in here because I wanted to check my um, acceptance rate and saw that I have $254 I still need to cash out. So I actually made $456 on Lyft this week that I completely forgot about. Add that to $1,300 over here, I'm at $1,800, and I plan to do $250 today. So I've had my first $2,000 week. Yay! Ballin'. So my acceptance rate on each of these platforms is like 30%. I cherry pick quite a bit, and I do have cancellations. I will cancel. I try not to. I don't. It, Initially, I didn't like to cancel if I'm running both apps at one time and say I accept a ride on Uber and then a better ride comes through on Lyft. I typically will turn off the other app once I accept a ride on one app. One, because it's just completely confusing, and I don't want to have the dinging going on while I'm on a ride. And I did one time accept a Lux ride while I was on an Uber ride, and it was right in the same area. So I figured, okay, I'm about to drop these. I got 2 minutes to drop off, and I'm right in the area for the pickup for the Lux. However, the navigation was running for Lux, also for Uber. So I started to follow the navigation for Lux because it told me to make a U-turn, and I'm thinking I missed my turn, and so that was just that was too much. It was too much for me. Um, so it worked out because I was able to get the Lux ride as well, but I prefer to, once I accept a ride on one platform, that I turn off the other. And then when I do cancel, it's usually because a rider is not at the pin that they say that they are. I've had several rides, especially with people coming into town, they don't understand about having to be in the rideshare area for these casinos. I can't just pick you up on the street or in another area or in the main entrance if there is a designated rideshare area. So when they request the ride, the pin is going to tell me come to the Harrah's rideshare area. And anybody that drives for Uber or Lyft here in Vegas, you know that Harrah's and Link and Flamingo are generally they're in the same area. There's three different driveways. So somebody will order the ride, and it'll tell me to go to Harrah's rideshare, and I'm sitting there, but they're actually at the Flamingo or they're actually at the Link, which the Link is in between those two. Which in that instance is not a big deal because as long as I communicate with them and find out, okay, I don't see them walking, I don't see the person, I'll text them or I'll call them and they'll say, oh no, we're in the garage at the Link. Oh, okay, not a problem. Swing it literally is like not even a minute to swing around to the other driveway. Um, I've had an instance where somebody ordered a ride from the Trump Hotel. I get to the Trump Hotel and they're actually at Resorts World. which is down the street, around the corner. And that person got really belligerent with me, so I just canceled the ride. Um, because my thing is too, I don't want to pick up somebody that is too far away from where they're supposed to be, especially if they don't update where they're at. Because now I'm losing money, I'm losing time, and people, some of them get really entitled. And they're like, "Well, I ordered this ride, and you need to figure out where I'm at." I had that instance happen at um, Mandalay Bay. Mandalay Bay has uh, two or three rideshare areas because it's also Four Seasons. And the rider, he said he was in a garage, but I'm also still fairly new for driving on the strip and in the casino. So I don't know every rideshare area. So he put his pin, he was at Four Seasons. So I'm sitting at Four Seasons, he's not there. So I contact him and he's telling me that he's at Mandalay Bay. Well, Four Seasons and Mandalay Bay, they have two driveways that's like essentially the same area. So not a problem. I swing around to the other driveway. He's not there either. So then I'm contacting him like, I'm here, and he's like, no, you're not. I'm waving and I don't see you. And I'm like, okay, well, where are you? And he's like, well, I'm in the garage. And I'm like, well, I don't know where the garage, at the time, I didn't know where the garage was for Mandalay Bay rideshare area. And as I'm talking about this in my mind, I still don't I still don't know where it's at. So this guy had ordered the ride on Uber. So I really tried to get to him, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know exactly where you are. I'm even talking to him on the phone, don't know where you're at. And he's really frustrated because he said he kept ordering rides and they kept getting canceled because nobody can find him. So that's telling me that you're not at the appropriate spot, first of all, because other Uber drivers who are very familiar with the area would know how to get to him wherever he's saying that he's at. So it's telling me that he's not even in a rideshare area. He's probably in a parking garage, which is not where we pick up. So I'm telling him, dude, you gotta be where you're saying that you're at. That's the only way that we're gonna be able to find you. I'm gonna follow my map. If the GPS on Uber and Lyft is telling me to go to a specific location, that's where I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna just go someplace because you tell me, oh no, actually I'm around the corner down the street. That doesn't work for me. That you need to update your location, or you need to cancel the ride and reorder it with your correct spot. So he ends up canceling the ride on Uber. So at that point, I end up getting a cancellation fee. So I'm out working, so I get another ping. And on Uber is not like Lyft where it tells you who the person is, and exactly where they are. It just gives you like the address. So I accepted the ride, and I'd be damned if it was him again. So now we're going through this scenario all over again. So now he's getting even more angry. So now I'm like, dude, I cannot find you. You have to be in the right area. So I cancel the ride. So now I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to accept any more rides from Uber. So I turn the Lyft app on. I get a ping for Lyft. Again, Four Seasons. So I'm like, cool, I'm right here. Would you believe it's the same motherfucker at he switched over to Lyft thinking that Lyft was going to, get him a better driver, and it ended up being me again. So now I'm back on the phone with him, and I'm like, dude, you're going between two apps and you're putting the same shit at the wrong spot. So now he's like, well, I'm telling you where I'm at, and you should just figure it out. And that's all you need to know. I said, no, what you need to know is that if you keep ordering Ubers and Lyft, because then he said it's been an hour. If it's been an hour and you keep ordering rides and nobody is getting to you, then that should tell you that you're not doing something correctly. So I said, so at this point, maybe you should call a cab, because the cab can probably come in there and get you. I'm not doing it. Cancel. So he was that was like a nightmare. That was a huge waste of time for what $350 that I got for the cancellation fee or whatever it was. So Anyway, so my cancellation rate is 7% on Uber, and on Lyft, I don't even know what it is on Lyft. Um, I don't even know how to get to it. Where did I see that at? I don't know. I have really good reviews on Lyft. Everybody seems to like the car, but they don't really tip too well on Lyft. 5 star on Lyft. Uber is a hater. They won't let me get to 5 star, even though all of my ratings, except for the two haters on the 1 star, which was horrible because the first 1 star that I got, I had picked up um, some people that actually were near my house, and I don't know what their issue was, but the way that I was raised, when you walk into the space of somebody, you speak. You say hello, how you doing, good afternoon. I remember as a child, if I came home from school and just walked in the house and didn't speak to my father would make me go outside and do it again. Start over. You don't walk into or get into somebody's car and not speak. So the people get in, I say hello, they don't say anything, and I have a tendency to not speak up. So I say it again thinking, well, maybe they didn't hear me. So I'm like, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Nothing. Wouldn't speak. So I'm like, okay, this how this how we're gonna do this ride. So they were going from Northtown to Fremont. So we get down to Fremont, and the music that I have playing, it ends up being I think the Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston song. We got something in common. So the lady, and these are Caucasian people. The lady, she asked a question. She asked it so loud that I assumed that she was speaking to me. And she said, didn't Whitney pass away not too long ago? So I respond to her. I was like, yeah, it was some years ago. I really don't remember how long it's been now, maybe what, 7 years or so. And so she completely ignored me. So I'm like, okay, well, so she keeps talking, but now I realize she's not talking to me. She's talking to her husband. But the way that she said it made me, I just assumed that she was speaking to me. So again, they're not engaging at all. So this is one of my first rides getting back on the platform a couple months ago. So they get out the car. I tell them, have a good day, enjoy yourself, be safe down here. Nothing. Not bye, bitch, nothing. Get out the car. They see, I got a 1 star. Like, what the fuck? Why do I have a 1 star? Because I was trying to engage and be polite, or what? Some people are just really weird, and I don't even understand why they do that. I had another person give me a 1 star. This one was trying to get a free ride. I picked her up again from Northtown. She was trying to catch the $40 bus that goes to California that picks up at um, Fashion Show Mall, but she didn't know where the pickup spot was. So when I got to her house, she gets in the car and she asked me how long is it going to take to get to Fashion Show. So I look at the GPS and I said, well, it's saying it's 20 minutes. Now, mind you, this is early morning. This is like 7 o'clock. So she was like, oh no, it said we were only 7 minutes away. I said, it's impossible. Even without traffic, we are not 7 minutes away from Fashion Show. We are at least 15 with no traffic. And this is 7 o'clock in the morning. There's rush hour right now. So I said, I can try my best to get you there in time, but what do you want to do? Because we can cancel. I mean, I'm not gonna waste my time trying to get you to Fashion Show if you're gonna miss the bus. So she was like, no, it's fine. Let's just go. So fine. So it starts raining. So even through the rain, I'm trying to get her there, make sure she catches this bus. So meanwhile, she's in the back seat and she's going to fuck off. And she's like, I can't miss my bus. I don't pay $40 for this bus. I'm not gonna get a refund. But she's not talking to me. She's talking to herself, right? So now I'm like, shit, I should have canceled this fucking bitch. Crazy. So I'm like, whatever, we'll just make it. So we get to Fashion Show and I don't catch the $40 bus. I ain't never caught the $40 bus, so I don't know where the bus stop is. So I asked her because when she put in for Fashion Show, she just put Fashion Show. So the GPS is taking me to the Fashion Show entrance on Spring Mountain. So I asked her, I said, where's the bus stop? Oh, I don't know where the bus stop is. I said, okay, I'll circle around. There's nobody standing here. So let's go around to the other side, which is on the Trump side on that back street. So we swing around there, and sure enough, there's the whole line of people. And she's like, oh, thank God you made it. The bus hasn't come yet. I said, cool, cool. Glad we made it. So she gets out the car and she tells me, have a blessed day, be safe. It's still kind of raining. This bitch went on the app, and this was on Lyft. She went on the app and she told them that I was not the driver, that somebody else was using my app. So immediately I get messages, and they're like, this is what the riders reporting, and if we get another report like this, you're going to be deactivated. I'm like, what the hell happened? She's trying to get a free ride. So I don't know if she got a free ride or not, because that shit pissed me off so bad. I was pissed off for the rest of the day, because I'm like, people are really trying to fuck with your livelihood. Like, if you could not afford a ride, then you should have asked your homie, your mama, your daddy, somebody to give your ass a ride if you couldn't afford the ride. And that ride, I only got maybe, I don't know, maybe like $8 for that. But I took it because I wanted to get down by the airport. Early morning, I wanted to get to the airport. So I'm like, okay, something is better than nothing. I don't want to have to drive all this long way and not have, and not get, be driving on empty. And at this time that I didn't have the Tesla, so I'm on gas. So every little bit, when I leave my house, I wanted to get a ride that either take me down to Fremont or take me to the Strip or to the airport. So that's why, I went ahead and took the ride. So that pissed me off. So I don't have a webcam. So at that point, I was like, maybe I need to get me a dash cam so I can record this shit. Because, it's so disheartening when you're struggling and you're trying to make money and you're trying to give the best customer service, and then you have people like this who just want to take advantage of it because they can't afford it, or they don't want to afford it. I don't know what the issue is, but clearly if you're taking the $40 bus, you don't have a lot of money. I'm just going to assume that, because if I'm not going to take the bus when a Southwest ticket to California one way is like $50. Why am I going to get on the bus and spend all day on the bus going to California when I can spend an hour on the flight for virtually the same money? So that was just a horror story. So anyway, so now it's 1 o'clock. I was supposed to get started at 12:30. So now I'm about to get started. Let's go online. And at this point, this is some kind of surge, because they're going to give immediately. So this is $9 for 9.5 miles. So I'm not going to take that one. And I guess I'm on All Rides. I thought I was just on Premier, but I am on All Rides right now. So my strategy is start with over $10. Over $10 and low miles. I'm not going to do $10 for 10 miles. So let's see what we get. And I'm still not really fooling with Lyft, even though Lyft, I have a $45 challenge, but I would have to do 25 rides today, and I'm not, because their surging is not up to par. Because see where I'm at, there's like nothing. There's nothing. So I don't even want to fool with that. Let me just stick with Uber, because on Uber I also have, well, it's not to 3. Between 3 and 4, I got $2.50 extra for every trip. Then at 4 to 5, there's a $2 extra trip. 6 to 7, which I probably will not be out here, but it's $4. So I signed up for all of these, even, just in case. I don't really know how my day goes. It just depends on how the day before went and where my money is at. So at this point, since I forgot about that $250 I had on Lyft, 5 o'clock, I'm done. So I'm not even going to do these this evening. And I'll just start fresh tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, 6 to 8, I have $4.50 extra trip, which that's pretty good. So I'll probably do that, because I'll be out taking my kids to school and my son to work. And so I'll just stay out and capitalize on that. So Next week I chose 565 as my quest goal, because I clearly covered that, and that goal is going to give me an extra 235, and then when I do an extra 80, I'll get another $75. So you guys do the math on that, because you guys will see I cannot add and subtract. I don't give a shit if it's 1 plus 1 equals 5. I cannot figure it out in my head quickly enough to give you guys what the number would be. So that's a lot. That's a lot. This right here, the 235 plus the 75, is virtually 1.5 days for me. So I could actually, if I hit, once I hit that, I can essentially take off a day and a half and not have to work, um, which I probably won't do, because I have some things I need to take care of. So I'll that's just extra, to help me out. So I'm still sitting here at the charging station. Normally I leave if it's busy, because I don't want to take up a spot for somebody, but there's 2 open stations right now, so I'm not in a rush to leave. But I do notice that if I'm not moving, depending on where I'm at, then I don't get pings. So I may need to just start driving, which I will kind of stay around Fremont. Let's see if I can get something up here. If not, then I'll hit Las Vegas Boulevard, and that's typically when I'll get something good. Or I might get something good when I pull out the parking lot. So we'll see. Let's see what this is. Trash. $2 for 18 miles for Wingstop. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I haven't seen good Uber Eats deliveries. Every delivery that comes to me is $2. I don't remember what that last one was. I think it was $7 for an hour's worth. Um, and I've seen other videos where people are getting like $16, $20 for an Uber Eats order, and I'm not seeing that, so I'm not doing none of that crap. I did one day get a Connect order, and I'm still not really sure of what Connect is, but I accepted it because I was out early. It might have been that day that I did that bus run for that girl, um, and it said $30. And initially, when I started doing the rideshare this time around, I wasn't paying attention to the miles. I wasn't paying attention to where I was picking up. I was just looking at the dollar amount. And so the dollar amount came up. It was like $30. I'm like, $30. And so I was like, I hurried up and clicked it, because, and then also I did see that I was near. So I'm like, okay, so like right here, $30. So it ended up being a restaurant. It ended up being like it was an Uber Eats order, but it was on Connect, and I picked it up off of Paradise at some Jamaican spot, which I didn't even know was there. So I'm definitely going to try that out. And it was going to MGM Signature, which that is a whole nother debacle trying to get into there, because the Uber GPS doesn't recognize where the gate is to get into there. So that was my first time going to the Signature, and the guy didn't have there's 3 towers, and he didn't give me the correct tower. So by the time I circled the block 3 times trying to figure out how to get in there, um, I ended up being at the wrong tower. So it was just a mess. It took me forever to drop this food off, and I had to apologize profusely. I'm like, this is my first time doing Uber Eats. I'm so sorry. But anyway, it was $30. And had I known where I was going, it really would have only taken me 15 minutes. But $30 for a Connect order, and I've never gotten another Connect order since. And it's been 2 months now. Never another order. So I don't even know what Connect is. I don't understand it. I don't know what the difference is between that and Uber Eats. But hey, it worked out that day. I was happy. That was a good day. So now I have all rides on. It is surging. Let's see. This is down east, on the east side. It's surging down on the strip. Airport, not so much. But this is all gray. So what I've been seeing is when I get another ping, it's gonna give me a surge price, even though it's not showing a surge price here. It'll say like $1, additional $2. I rode through one surge area that wasn't even showing. And when I got done with the ride, I ended up with a $12 surge that wasn't even on the map. So I don't even know where the hell it came from. So I don't know if Uber's trying to make up to us for the whole Beyonce debacle that happened, where we weren't getting any surges because of the so-called state of disaster we were in for the drizzle hurricane that we got, that lasted 3 damn weeks. There was no surging. So surging reappeared this week. So I don't know if they're trying to make up for it or what, but Uber's been killing it. It's been killing it. And normally, prior to this, I was doing better on Lyft than I was on Uber. So we'll see. I think I'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll just start driving so we can get some money going, because now it's 1 o'clock and I want to be done by 5 with at least 250 to add, because I want to hit that $2,000 mark that I didn't even know I was going to hit. So I forgot all about that. So this was a good week. So when I looked at my online time, the most time that I've been online has been with Uber, and that was 47 hours for the week. And the week starts on Monday. And I think it was 20 hours on Lyft. So when I do my average, which I don't know if this is correct or not, I go off of the most hours, because most of the time I'm running both apps together. So I'm not doing one app and then the other app. So this one's going to the outlet. So I'll take it because that's just down the street. And maybe somebody from the outlet will be going to the strip. So that's not bad, because I want to get into the algorithm. So let's head over there, pick up Alexia. That's it, Alexia. And let's see. So downtown is kind of all blocked off. They're getting ready for Life.
Turn right on Bridger Avenue.
Life is Beautiful festival, which I believe is next week. So they've already shut down the roads because they're setting up.
Turn right on South 7th Street.
They're setting up all the tents and things. So I have to, yeah, I can go down the street. Have to do a little detours.
Pick up Alexia on the right.
Oh, she's right here. Okay, so I'm gonna stop recording at the moment, and I'll pick back up when I'm done.
Got you on camera.
Yes.
Look, you on camera.
Yes.
You're on camera, nigga.
Black women need that. They get some crazy people in here.
Kalinda,
I ain't one of them.
you still on camera, bro.
I'm a nigga.
Ho, brother, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
Look at this teacher.
Stop hitting your mother. Do not touch her again. I'm sorry. I can't.